What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Next Wave podcast. Today, we're coming in at episode 28, creeping up to those dirty 30s. We appreciate y'all tuning in. It's going to be a COD-heavy episode today, so buckle up. I'm here with my co-host, Dak D. Woody Woodall, and I am Blake Zanny Janney. And make sure to tune in. This episode's going to be a good one. And we've got a lot of COD to talk about today. But before we get into the Call of Duty, of course, Dak, how you been? How was your weekend?
It was good, man. Spent Father's Day with my dad yesterday. We had some steak, I had to splurge for the pops, so that was fun. Other than that, it's been good. It's been super hot, and I've been playing a lot of Gears of War ever since the E-Day announcement.
Hell yeah. So, do you get your dad a gift for Father's Day?
Yeah, like sometimes I'll get him something small, like nothing too crazy, but this year I just went for like a nice dinner.
Nice. Yeah, me and my dad played some golf yesterday, so I paid for his round, and whatnot. And while you were getting some sizzling steak, my skin was sizzling out there in the fucking heat, dude. Had a little bit of a headache afterwards from some heat exhaustion, but it was a fun time. Nonetheless, but yeah, dude, Gears, I'm excited. I just downloaded it. We're gonna play some probably this today, and we're gonna have some fun. But I mean, I'm ready to jump into some COD if you are.
Yeah, let's get it.
So, first thing of news since our last podcast is the Esports World Cup has officially invited all 12 CDL teams out there. Apparently there's like 16 spots or something, and we're not too sure what the other 4 spots mean. The 12 teams can deny or accept their invitation and whatnot, so we'll see how that plays out. But I think you have some more details on it, don't you?
Yeah, so it's interesting because they originally announced, yes, it'll be a 16-team tournament, $1.8 million prize pool. Sheesh. And the tournament will run August 15th through the 18th. Now, originally, before they invited all 12, it said that the only teams invited were FaZe, Rocker, Ultra, and Thieves.
And the fuck?
I could see, Thieves just because 100 Thieves are so heavily involved at, internationally. FaZe 2, Ultra is one of the best COD teams. Rocker was kind of interesting, but they did go to Saudi
G2
with version 1.
Yeah, and now they're G2.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
Makes sense.
But then like 2 days later, they came out and said all 12 CDL teams have been invited to the cup. So that it'll be 12 teams that have qualified and are in, and then the other 4 spots are going to be some sort of online qualifier, I'm assuming. But I'm interested to see. Yeah, that is sick, and I'm interested to see what teams get made because
to qualify for it.
Yeah, and I just don't see teams unless it's roster locked, and you have to use this roster. But I see a lot of teams making changes soon.
I know there's a roster lock for the CDL teams.
Yeah, but I'm saying for them to invite these teams, could Boston bring a different roster or?
It's locked in. It's locked whatever in. Their major 4 roster is the roster for Esports World Cup.
There you go. So
that's what Ben Chase said on the flank.
Dude, that's tough for some of these teams, bro.
I know.
Oh man.
But I'm more curious, to your point, is the challengers rosters that they're going to put together for these qualifier matches. Because I don't know what their deadline is. I assume since they're online qualifier matches that it's going to be a much later deadline of some sort, closer to that qualifier date. And
there's some good players that are not playing right now.
Absolutely.
Slasher could go make a team, and
Yeah,
compete,
he
like that'd be
could.
dope.
Yeah,
Like Slasher could literally get 3 of the top
he
AMs
could.
and go make a
He
good
could.
team. Yeah.
And then you go to LAN and you look at the bottom four of the CDL, like
Yeah.
that team will definitely be better
Yeah,
than
yeah,
Boston.
for
Like,
sure, bro.
that's actually comedy. We might have
Yeah.
predicted the future. Slasher picks up
Slasher wins an
Lunars, Dylan
Esports
Rex,
World
and
Cup.
some cracked AM. Like, that would be awesome,
That'd
bro.
be so sick.
You think the four remaining spots they do by region, and then the tournament, the qualifier winner of that region. So like, there's a North American Challengers
Maybe.
team, an APAC, an EU, and a Saudi team,
Yeah.
or maybe Falcons. They just give Falcons one of the invitations.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. And Falcons are good. Like they're good in everything. They always have a
Yeah,
good team. So
their two
yeah.
COD players are always on the top of the top 250 leaderboard, and like, I pulled up. If you click matches on Breaking Point, it shows like the next upcoming matches, and it's always challengers because they have more frequent stuff, and like, they're always on. I always see their name on there.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
so
they're playing. They got a team.
I'm interested to see what these other 4 spots are going to be and what the 12 teams are going to be like. I wonder if some teams won't accept the invitation, what happens then, you know?
Exactly.
So
Yeah, does that open up another qualifier spot?
yeah, but I don't know why a team would not accept a $1.8 million tournament
That's
unless it's some
insane.
Saudi like politics stuff with their word, but
Yeah. Was that all the information that they gave out?
yeah, I believe so far. Yeah, that's really all we know. So I mean, it's coming up soon though. That's in 2 months, so there will be news rolling out soon, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, we're excited for that nonetheless. I think we haven't seen a non CDL LAN ever.
Especially one of this magnitude.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just glad that Activision like allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
If they that would have been messed up. But yeah, that's going to be a fun tournament to watch. I mean, we got hella esports competing in the Esports World Cup. So, I mean, I'll be watching COD, I'll be watching the Apex, I'll be watching Rocket League.
Yeah.
I don't know if Valorant's. I don't remember the full list, but anyway, I mean, that's going to be sick. But I'm ready to get into our weekend of COD. If you're ready.
Yeah, let's get it.
So Friday, listen, we're keeping this very low level, or I guess high level today. We're bird's eye viewing this. We'll dive into a couple matches, but overall, you know, we're burnt out in terms of covering map by map. So on Friday, New York Subliners took down the Rocker 3-2. I know the map one we wanted to touch on.
Yeah, it was just I couldn't believe my eyes, and I understand, you know, Lamar's out. I don't know if we talked about that last week, but
It didn't. It happened after we reported.
yeah. So Accuracy's mom has cancer, so he's sitting out. Obviously, thoughts and prayers to him and his family. But Spart filled in, and I guess they didn't get a warm up, and just came out here and dropped a stinker. Map 1, 250 to 38. Standy went 3 and 17. He didn't have a kill through 3 hills, and they didn't get a point until P3. It was 126 to 0.
Yep.
I thought there was like a lag issue. Like I thought there was some sort of map issue. I didn't know what was going on. I genuinely thought something was wrong. That's how bad they were getting beat. I thought the game was broken.
This series just overall was weird because then Rocker go on to win the next 2 maps, 6-4 and 3-1, and then New York was like, no, hold on. They take the hard point, and then they win round 11, map 5.
Yeah.
So it still went the very, very distance, but New York were able to take it. Hydra had a great series, and Lens had a great series, but we got some stuff to talk about with Lens as well, because he had a pretty shit series coming up here. But nonetheless, also on Friday, the Ravens took down Optic 3-2, and Optic go 1-3 on the split after losing to the Ravens. They get 6-0'd in the search and then lose
atrocious.
the map 5 search 6-4. So Optic were able to take the map 3 and 4, both hard points, very close, but they just smoked them in search this series. Optic have been struggling in search. They're 0-8 on it or something like that this split, and it's biting them in the ass.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Every week, Optic will lose another match, and we're like, okay, are we worried yet? Are we worried yet? Are we worried
Yeah.
yet? I think now it's like, okay, they're kind of in a funk. Like,
Yeah,
something's
we're
wrong.
worried.
Yeah, so,
We're worried because it's not just like hangover shit. Like
yeah.
it's like actual like what are we watching? Like why are they doing
Mm-hmm.
certain plays? They're not playing as a team, solo challing, and just look really sloppy losing to some of these bottom tier teams. But
Yeah.
I mean, so Carolina's still a good team. Don't get me wrong. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're still good. But still, you're not supposed to lose those if you're Optic. Um, we'll talk a little bit more about them in their next match as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Tyler
and then
Fellows
round.
controller disconnected map
Oh
4.
yeah,
Yeah.
someone tweeted that they were texting. He was texting someone like mid map, but really
About
he
to
was
beat the
messing with
Major
his
3 champs.
yeah, messing with his controller cord. That was funny. Um, and then Atlanta FaZe round us out with the most predictable 3-0 over the Boston Breach ever. Nothing to
Dude.
touch on
Yeah,
there.
that was sad.
Going into the Saturday, Carolina fall to Miami 3-1. Miami been looking really good. They're coming into a form, especially in S&D. They've been really good
Mm-hmm.
at S&D this stage. LAG 3-0 the Boston Breach. No surprise there. Second worst team, 3-0ing the worst team,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So, um, next, somewhat interesting one, we had the Legion going up against the Surge. The Legion have looked pretty good. Haven't really played anyone other than I guess they never mind. They went map 5 with New York and then beat Optic, and then they ended up 3-2ing Seattle in this one. I didn't really watch this one here, but it looks like they just handled business. Got smoked on the map 3 and map 4, but just won the map 5.
Yeah.
Did you pay attention to this one at all?
Yeah, I watched the S&Ds. There was some good S&Ds out of Vegas. Seattle's a good S&D team, so to take 2 of them off of Seattle is impressive. So this is where I was like, yeah, Vegas is like really coming into form and looking like they could be a top 5 team or whatever. But sadly, that is not the case, as we find out later this weekend. But yeah, I mean, Seattle, they've been hitting a little bit of a skid here,
They
as of
have.
late,
Their
and
honeymoon's kind of getting over.
that
People are figuring
and
them out.
yeah, that's what Parasite said on the flank. He thinks people are
Yeah,
starting to figure them out, and they need to switch it up. So
I agree. Yeah, I mean, it worked for a little bit because it was kind of an out of pocket play style, just like sprinting at everything, 3 hitting something, 4 hitting something.
mm-hmm.
And it worked early for them, especially in Surge, but we've seen them kind of plateau in Surge. And they've been like, losing these respawns that they, would win on mixy maps like Vista and, 6-star,
Yeah,
things like that. But Legion looking pretty good. We'll talk about them again here on the Sunday matchups, but they're overall that made them 3-1 on the split here.
yeah,
And then to round out the weekend, Ultra 3-1 the LA Thieves. The Thieves were able to take the round 11 map 2 on Rio, which is a good, somewhat good map for them.
mm-hmm.
So, they narrowly get that, but overall, Toronto just handling business.
Yeah. Yeah, and Thieves' story of their life this year, they still haven't beat a top 4 team, and
Yeah.
they are always close in hardpoint. Like, they can score 200, but they just can't get that W when it
Yeah.
comes to beating teams that are better than them. So they can
Yeah,
make it
and
close, but I never
I
felt like
mean,
they had a chance.
it's just so there's just so much inconsistency on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Not only from like a game plan perspective as a team, but also just individually.
Yeah.
Nasty, like the only one that you can depend on to not drop an absolute stinger, but also not like go off and just do
Yeah.
their role is Nasty. Ghosty's been pretty consistent, obviously, but he hasn't been amazing this stage as he was last
Yeah.
stage.
And when he does
and then
bad, they do bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then when Crimp and Joe, I mean, they're just very inconsistent.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Joe a little bit less inconsistent than Crimp, but
Mm-hmm.
it's too much inconsistency to win against these top 4 teams. But they're able to take around 11. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting into Sunday, the last day, Toronto Ultra 3-1ing the Minnesota Rocker. Business as usual there. And then
Another
Atlanta
round
FaZe.
11 L.
Yeah, another round 11.
It's tough.
And then LA Thieves and FaZe. This was interesting because the Thieves come out really hot and smoke them on a Vista 250 to 40. But Atlantic Thieves locked in.
Yeah.
The stat was that if they win map 2, they're undefeated this year. I'm pretty sure, or something like
Mm-hmm.
that, and they made sure to keep that streak going. So they
Yeah.
won the map 2 very handedly, and then continued business the next 2 maps. Anything on that series you want to add?
Not really. I mean, it was kind of crazy that Thieves won map one that decisively. But then, as you said, FaZe locked in, and it was as we expected. I think FaZe is definitely the best team this split, and they look
I
like they
agree.
want to come back with a vengeance. Major
Yeah,
four.
yeah. I think it's Phase 1, Toronto 2 right now,
Yeah.
and then I mean you just got to trust Optics
Yeah,
form
man.
um,
Yeah, they're still three
on
to me,
land.
but
So New York takes down Optic 3-2. This goes down to a map 5, and I'll just say they talked about on the flank. I'm with Haggy on this. There was a lot of 4 bullet MCW headshot cheese in this series on
mm-hmm.
both sides. On both sides, but like in particular, the map 2 invasion that New York ended up winning
Yeah.
6-5. The 1v1 with Skies and Dashy on B bomb. Dashy laid down next to the forklift and pre-aimed ice cream door and got first bullet, didn't miss, and Skies just happened to hit 2 headshots and insta killed him. Like
God,
he
bro.
absolutely got joked. Like it
Yeah.
was an absolute joke, and I think it turned the tide of that map and
Yeah.
unfortunately the series. Um, and New York takes it. So these 2 teams are interesting. Let's focus on these 2 teams for a second because are we now worried about Optic? Yes. Like we're worried. Right now we have to definitely win one of these matches to even get a chance at losers bracket, and it's who's it? LAG in
Yeah.
Toronto? Or okay. LAG in Toronto. Or is it Boston in Toronto?
For
Optic schedule.
oh, let me check real quick. But go ahead.
I'm looking right now. I have it. Yeah, it's Boston and Seattle.
Okay.
So they got to win one of those 2, right? So we hope, something's got to. I mean, we should not lose to fucking
Boston and
Boston. But
Toronto, right?
yes,
Okay.
Boston and Toronto. So you got to think we have one win there to even be in the conversation for winners
I mean, if
bracket.
they lose to Breach, we are scared.
On
Scared.
hitless.
Terrified.
And then they have Toronto, which the way they've been playing, they're going to get 3-0 or 3-1 by Toronto. So, at best you're thinking you go 2-5 this split, and hopefully people get other teams are getting shit on. The thing is they're going to win the tiebreaker though. Optic will because they have a lot of map wins. They're going map 5 almost every series. So, they're going to get a little bit. So they would play they would, if anything, they would play FaZe. Like they would play FaZe or Toronto in round 1.
Yeah.
Because they would come in at the 8th seed and then play FaZe round 1.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So we're a little bit scared for Optic, and then New York. Like it's just such a weird dynamic with New York, who go and lose to Legion and other not good teams, and then come out and beat Optic, but Optic look like shit. So it's like we don't know.
I just think New York plays to who they're playing. You know,
Yeah, I
if they're
would.
playing
Yeah,
Boston, they're gonna play to Boston's level. If they're playing Optic, they're gonna play to Optic's level. And
yeah.
you never know. But I think both teams right now are a little iffy. New York, yes, they're winning series, but they still let Rocker take them to a map 5 round 11 the other day, which easily was, could have been the other way. And we would have been talking about them completely differently if they lost to Rocker and Vegas, in the same split. So
Do you,
they're
do you
skidding
think?
and we're skidding. It's just a matter of who's gonna turn it around, or maybe
Do
we
you
both
think
don't.
if Optic had played the whole stage like they played against New York, that they would be 1-4?
No.
Because they brought him map 5 and everything, but like Dashy's
Dashy was frying.
1.28,
Dashy
and
was
everyone
frying
else
that day.
was 0.92 or less. So like Dashy willed them to some of these victories here. Not that they didn't have okay maps, the rest of them, but I mean they did look better, right?
Yeah.
And it might speak to them also playing down to their competition and then up to it. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's
Yeah, there's
going
a
on.
lot at stake here, a lot to think about here. But
Yeah,
all I know is that this is not a good time to have a bad skid like this. And Optic needs a win against Toronto to get their mentals right for Major 4 because
And
after Major
winners.
4, bro, it's time to go. Like it's champs, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of, a lot at stake here, the last matchup of the weekend was LAG versus Legion. LAG took that one 3-0, which a lot of people had Legion in this matchup, myself included. And this is big for points, so it's a big stake here. I think LAG like tied everyone in this spot here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the standings for Major 4 real quick because it's getting pretty spicy here. So. Right now, Atlanta, pretty much they're all locked in here. So Optic down here with only 10 points. They play Boston, so that's a free 20. They're going to be up there. And then it all depends on these next few games.
Yeah.
So LAG still everyone has one or two more matches. Luckily, Optic has the chance to get 20 more points, where teams like Rocker, Carolina, LAG, they have a chance to only get 10 more points. So they can absolutely, tie these teams with 2 wins, assuming that the other teams win.
Right.
The other teams can still lose, and they can win 1 and still have that chance to, win a tiebreaker and find their way in. But as we can see right here, they need to hope that LAG, LA Thieves, and Rocker don't win another match, and they need to absolutely win 1.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It's shaking out pretty weird.
Yeah, this is going to be crazy. And then in the overall standings, I mean, these bottom 4 or 5 teams, bro, they're fighting for their lives right now.
It's 7 through 11 right now.
This is
anyone's
insane.
ball game, literally anyone's. So, like I said, that win over Legion for LEG just made everything insanely interesting. We have 5 points, half a win, separating 5 teams from qualifying for champs.
Yeah.
Obviously, 2 of the 5 teams will qualify, so there's some wiggle room there. So out of these 5 teams, which 2 do you have qualifying?
Okay, I gotta say
Carolina for sure.
I'm saying Carolina and Vegas.
It's either Vegas or Thieves for me.
I'm saying Carolina and Vegas I'm dead set on Vegas over Carolina.
You know what? I got Carolina in Vegas as well. Carolina because I believe in that team.
Never,
yes,
ever missed his piece of the pie, bro.
That's exactly why I immediately swung towards Legion, is because he's not going to miss his piece. He's going to make champs.
There, bro. I guarantee it.
That is fucking
hilarious.
And that
sounds like just some joke shit, but like he'll be there.
It's
bro.
true.
It's true.
No,
that is facts. He will show
manifest.
up. Yep.
It's manifest. That's going to be an interesting way to see how things shake out. So these matches might be a little bit of a snooze, but they are very high impact matches some of the time. So in this case, especially for Optic, where they're currently at. So. Really excited for this next weekend. You want to do a little bit of predictions since our summary was pretty quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's look ahead at the matches to be completed here. Major 4 matches. All right. Friday, we got Miami versus Surge.
See, that's big.
I got Miami map 5 in this.
Okay.
Their search is looking really good right now. Seattle is on kind of a downtrend. I got Miami taking a hard point and 2 searches.
Yeah, I like that. I'm feeling the Vamos train. Let's go Miami map 5.
Now we got FaZe Ultra.
Ooh.
This is going to be a good match.
FaZe
I'm going to take FaZe 3-1, and every map is close. That's what I think. 3-1, and every map is close.
Okay.
And then.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, yeah, I agree. I don't know if every map will be close, but I think FaZe comes out and wins.
Okay. Then we got Legion Thieves. Ooh, this is a big match.
I got Legion 3-1.
This is a big match. I got Legion 3-2. Legion 3-2.
Okay.
Saturday, we got FaZe Miami. I got FaZe in that one, 3-0, maybe 3-1 if they play 6-star S&D map 2. Then we got LAG Surge. This one's kind of interesting based off of, recent matches for LAG and Surge.
You gotta think Surge.
I'm gonna go Surge.
Bounce back?
Yeah, I honestly could see him 3-0ing here. Honestly, just because they match up really. I think Seattle just matches up well against this team.
Mm-hmm.
The aggressiveness, just foot on the pedal against a team like this who can make mistakes at any point in the game and are known for making mistakes at the end of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Surge win this one. I don't know the map count. I can literally see any map count.
Yeah, same.
Optic Breach.
I'm thinking Boston.
Praying for a 3-0. All right,
I got Boston
me and Jack
3-2.
both have Breach 3-2.
P-Dog.
And then we've got Legion versus Rocker, another key matchup. Wow, these are two huge matches for Vegas. I'm gonna go. I have a feeling this one's gonna go map 5 just cause. I'm gonna go Legion map 5. Oh fuck, Rocker's S&D is good right now.
I know, dude. No, I think if Legion.
I think Rocker's gonna win this and keep it interesting.
Yeah, I do
as fuck.
too, bro. I don't know why I'm feeling Rocker.
I'm feeling Rocker.
Yeah, Rocker in 5. Standy,
Yeah, Rocker in 5.
Standy S&D Masterclass.
I'm going Spart S&D Masterclass.
Oh.
Then we got some juicy one on Sunday, starting us off. Optic versus Toronto. Hopefully, it's a spicy one. I've got Toronto 3-1.
I'm gonna say Toronto 3-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figure we steal a Mixie hard point.
Yeah.
And then we got Carolina Breach. Carolina 3-0, hopefully.
Yeah.
Should be.
Yeah.
If they don't 3-0, then...
Nah, Barry Boston. Barry Boston, send them home.
Yeah, just bury them. Put them out of their fucking misery.
Yeah.
And our last ever online qualifier match of the season. Let me say it again. Last ever match. LA Thieves versus New York Subliners. 3-0 Subliners.
I think we end on some weird shit.
We might. Some high rise in there.
3-0 Thieves. 3-0 Thieves. Just
wow.
Weird day. Dominance.
I could see it going 3-2 and New York taking it, but I got New York winning it regardless. But any last touching points on COD before we move on to pick and ban?
Man, I'm just ready for the major and champs. Especially champs, because we're going to be there.
We're going to be there, motherfuckers.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. I'm pumped for that. I can't wait. But awesome. Well, that was our CDL recap. Stay tuned for our finishing segment, Pick and Bans. Welcome back to our final segment of the podcast, Pick and Ban, where me and Dak each pick and ban something, whatever it may be, past, present, future, that we would like to touch on. I'll go ahead and start us off. My pick is House of Dragon Season 2 returning. Episode 1 premiered last night, and it was fucking fantastic. It felt more like a Game of Thrones episode than any of Season 1 did, and I loved it. Not that it has to be like Game of Thrones. Though? What's that?
You think they heard the feedback and like are going to make this season
Yes, but at the same time, they were filming... You know what I mean? Like they filmed a while, way before, while they're getting the feedback or, even before they're hearing that feedback. So it's probably, it probably builds up towards a tone of, Game of Thrones in a sense. So I don't know if it has anything to do with feedback. And maybe while season 1 premiered, they were editing season 2 and could have used music or certain shots or whatever in editing to make it more seem like that. But I'll tell you what, it was a fantastic episode and nothing really happened, but in Game of Thrones fashion, you can already see everything playing out in your head. And then what you see playing out in your head, they fucking twist it, right? When you think it's about, I can already see so many things playing out. I had to watch a season 1 recap video just to refresh myself, and that helped greatly because there's so many names. Like you watch Game of Thrones and you're like, I have a lot of people to keep track of. Imagine keeping track of all the families that you've learned about through the first 3 seasons of Game of Thrones thrown at you in the first season of, that's what House of Dragon was initially. And it was a lot, but so the refresh did well and I'm pumped for looking forward to Sunday nights now, but
I'll bet, bro. I need to catch up then.
You do.
Sweet. Well, my pick is loving something you used to hate. So for me, recently, Gears of War multiplayer. I've always loved Gears, like Gears 1, 2, and 3. I grew up playing those campaigns in like Horde mode, but I was a mega casual in multiplayer. and I knew no movement, tech, nothing. I would just go around and get shotgun in the face, and I'd be like, bro, my shotgun doesn't do that. And it was just like the hardest game in the world to me. And so over the course of however long Gears 5 has been out, I'll download it, play it for a couple weeks, and then delete it. And I've done that like 5 times and slowly have kind of learned how to wall bounce and just play the game. And it's actually super fun now. And I get it. I get it. But I also can see why it's hard for new players coming in to like want to learn all that just to get some kills.
Pretty big entry barrier.
Yeah, because like in COD, you can come in brand new and like get some kills just doing anything. Gears, like you have to kind of learn how to play first. Like I was getting shit on bad for like my first couple weeks, just like triple negative, 3 kills a map. Maybe everyone else is like going crazy, and now I'm just like doing whatever. It's fun. Yeah. So
hell yeah.
Yeah. Fun game.
We're gonna play that. Something I'm down to get a little mixy. But I remember when we were playing it a little bit when you were still on Xbox, like back in college, and I was fucking dog shit. Like trying to, even with the scuff, trying to do the wall bounce. I'll figure it out this time though. Yeah. But moving on to my bands. My band is Rory fucking McIlroy.
Oh yeah.
So he choked the U.S. Open yesterday. He went into the 18th hole with a 1-shot lead on Bryson. So Bryson was 1 hole back, but Rory was going into 18 7 under, while Bryson was 6 under. Rory manages to get on the green in 3 and has like a 3-foot putt for par. So he misses it. It lips out, and then he has another short, like 2-footer, 3-footer for bogey, but it's testy. Like it breaks like 6 inches from like 2 feet. So it was testy.
Oh my God.
He doesn't play enough break, and he misses that too. So he 3 putts on 18 to double and move down to 5 over. So he has to pray that Bryson DeChambeau bogeys 18. So DeChambeau, don't really remember what his drive did, but he parred 17, so he's still one up now that Rory blew up on 18. He hits it into the greenside bunker, so like bogey is definitely possible.
Yeah.
He then hits a great bunker shot, sticks it, taps it in for par, and secures the W. So, congrats to Bryson. I was speaking of something you used to hate, but now you like. For Bryson DeChambeau is that. So I used to hate him, but now he's definitely learned.
More likable.
He's way more likable. His YouTube is really fun to watch. But yeah, Rory McIlroy.
Did you see Rory's statement today?
No, I didn't. I know that he avoided media and went straight to his car and drove off, but I didn't know he released a statement today.
Yeah, I did see him peel out of the parking lot. That was
spinning tires apparently.
Yeah. Let me find it. Big Cat. Yeah. So Rory tweeted a notes app. It's a notes app. Yesterday was a tough day, probably toughest I've had in my 17 years as a golfer. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate Bryson. He's a worthy champion, exactly what professional golf needs right now. I think we can all agree on that. As I reflect on my week, I'll rue a few things over the course of the tournament, mostly the 2 missed putts on 16 and 18 on the final day. But as I'll always try to do, I'll look at the positives of the week that far outweigh the negatives. As I said from the start of the tournament, I feel closer to winning my next major ever, or than I ever have. The one word I would describe my career as is resilient. I've shown my resilience over and over again the last 17 years, and I will again. I'm going to take a few weeks away from the game to process everything and build myself back up for my defense of the Genesis Scottish Open and the Open at Royal Troon.
Okay.
Big Cat.
He didn't touch on anything about leaving. That's a power move. I like that.
Big Cat quote tweeted it and said, "Address the peel out. The media demands it."
Oh, Big Cat. That's good.
Yeah.
That is good. Speaking of Big Cat, Adam sent me a video because he was at the U.S. Open, and it's just fucking Tiger Woods 5 feet from him walking in, and he's like, "Let's go, Big Cat."
No way.
Yeah, it was fucking insane. But fuck yeah, that was a good pick and band from us right there. Those were entertaining. But
I got a band.
Hope you guys You got a what? Oh, you didn't ban yet. That's
Yeah.
right. Sorry.
All right, so my ban is ranked in the first month of a season, specifically in Rainbow Six or Rocket League. It is
Yeah.
just a cesspool of higher ranks than you. And, we recently started playing Rainbow. I would say at our best, me and Asa could probably hit gold. But, man, we have been getting shit on. Like, my win percentage is 0.14, I think. I'm like 1 in 12 or something.
Wait, as in that 14%?
Yeah, maybe less. Maybe less
Okay,
than 14%.
I didn't know if that was 0.14%. I was like,
Yeah, no.
that'd be insane.
So yeah, I think I'm like 1 in 12 now in ranked, and we've just played nonstop emeralds and champs, and yeah, we just can't do anything. And even one game I went 10-3, and we still got beat 4-1.
Fuck yeah, love when that
Yeah,
happens.
so
Yeah, dude.
it's
First
just
month,
unplayable.
there's only a few games that are actually good, like within the first few months. I think Apex is good now because they went away from the hidden MMR and are
Yeah.
doing just like actual rank now. So like early season, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
COD's fine.
but COD's fine. But like the thing about COD is like everyone from
Yeah,
Diamond
they're all the
above
same.
gets grouped together at the start, pretty
Mhm.
much, or I guess Crimson and above because everyone gets reset to Diamond,
Right.
and the Diamonds go back to Plat. So COD is okay if you're a higher rank. And then yeah, that's pretty
Yeah, but
Rocket
Rocket
League,
League's
Rainbow
the
are
same
bad.
way now. Like they had that big
Yeah.
MMR change season 11, and then ever since then it's just like grand champs galore in champ 1.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
no
insane.
good, no good. Well, yeah, like I said before, I forgot that you banned. That was a good segment. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 28 as well, the entirety of it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you did. We always appreciate helping the channel grow. But that's gonna do it for episode 28. Make sure you stay tuned in next week for episode 29. Deuces.